Hello everybody, welcome back to Same Spirit Gaming. My name's Matt.
And I'm Jordan.
Welcome back to more Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. We are going into mission 2 of the Orion constellation campaign thing.
Yeah.
Which, so far, based on the first mission, lots of snowy, icy stuff.
I like it.
We got a gem here. What is it? Another beam gem. Well, we've got any of the cannons.
Yeah.
Although putting it on the top one would make that a double beam, just outright. We also have the shield. Wait, why did I think we had a metal gem on the shield? Or was that just... Maybe that was
we did.
Previous campaigns. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of thought we did too, but that must have been previous.
So I don't know, what do you think? Beam gem. Oh yeah, we could also combine it with the power gem that's on the engine. That's the other option.
Let's do that. What does that do?
Well, let's find out. And if we don't like it, I've got the wrench thing to... Okay, so... Yeah.
Oh!
I just have to hold that, and then it's like... Literally, that can even damage things.
Let's try it. Yeah, that seems interesting. Try it.
Okay, then.
Something new.
So we've got power beam on both the engine and the Yamato cannon.
Yeah, it seems interesting. Try it out.
Okay. Doppler, you get on the shield, as per usual. Looks like there's solar activity nearby. But don't worry, I just applied some SPF 1000 to the ship, just in case.
Oh yeah, there's the solar.
Yeah.
Solar stuff.
And you have to use those to break the ice stuff.
Okay. New mechanic.
Oh. And the enemies have, like, ice shields on them sometimes.
Oh my god.
Which means you need to do that to even damage the enemies then. These little floaty dudes aren't like that, at least. Radar thing up here. What do we got? Oh.
Map.
That was about the least helpful spot that it could have given me, because that's literally right next to me. But you know what? I guess at least that can determine where I go first.
There's a noise in this game, because I can't hear it when we're recording, but later I found out there's a noise that sounds like the Final Fantasy menu noise. Right. I don't know how to do it, but very similar.
Oh, is that maybe the one from, like, whenever we pick up an item?
Yeah, probably.
Also, these space friends are foxes.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yamato cannon's on the wrong side. Well, now it can be helpful. Oh, and there were more enemies that spawned down there. Of course.
Dang.
But they, like, had to wait first.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. Also, ouch. Taking so many hits. Okay.
Wow.
Goodbye to all those dudes on the bottom. Okay.
Jeez.
See, that's one of those cases where I almost wish they would have given me the enemies first.
Yeah.
Before I was able to fully rescue the space friends. Yeah.
It's kind of weird that they didn't.
Little explodey fire dudes can also knock the ice off of enemies. So, like, right now, I can't really do anything to this guy.
Yeah. That's weird.
So what was the other... I don't know why it was still giving me map stuff, as if I... Okay. There's a solar thingy down here.
You can get the shields off if you need
to. Okay, and there's an item over this way. Couple of items over this way.
Ooh, nice. Hello.
We got here another power gem.
Well, might as well put it in a cannon, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the shield.
I mean, we've done pretty much all the power cannon combinations.
And the shield really would be nice to be bigger.
Now it's got like an extra layer and it's a bit wider.
Yeah, that seems good.
Okay, now I gotta... Well, not gotta, but I'm going to navigate my way up here so I can get to this other item. But also, that guy needs to go.
So does it ricochet off the sun in a specific angle?
I think it's pretty much just wherever you hit the mini sun thing is where it, like it'll deflect straight out from that.
I see.
Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I accidentally threw the metal gem onto the engine. I was just trying to drop it.
Well, now we have a metal beam engine. Whoa! That's actually pretty cool. I mean, hard to use because it moves the ship too, but that is... I haven't seen that before. Pretty cool. I mean, at this point, you're really good at running away from stuff.
Yeah, now I just gotta figure out where to go. Oh, hello.
Giant sun.
Yeah. I might have missed a whole bunch of stuff on the interior there.
This is a little weird because you have a very, very hot sun next to ice that isn't melting.
Yeah.
Good thing it doesn't hurt you when you hit yourself with the sun.
Yeah. It's that SPF 1000. Okay, where have I not gone on this map yet? Well, I might as well kind of finish off stuff to the left here, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I had a thought of something I could do. I could reset the engine back to, power beam, and then, like, put the metal gem on the shield, since we like that so much.
Yeah, that's true. Especially maybe for this level, you could ram pretty well.
I don't think the ramming would do any damage, though. That's the problem.
But does it bring back the power gem if you use the ram?
Oh, that's true. I wouldn't be able to put the power gem directly onto the... Okay, another metal gem.
Nice.
You know what?
Yeah, there we go.
Power metal shield, just for curiosity.
Oh, it doesn't make it. Oh, so you get like ramming parts, but it's not fully...
You might be able to use the whole shield to ram. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this would not be the enemy to test it out on because they have an ice shield thing.
Yeah.
Also, is there something else I missed? Yeah. There's some other stuff I might have missed up higher. But first, I'm going to go down lower.
Yeah.
Not over into that little corner, though. Get this guy out of here.
I think this will be the first actual level that takes a significant amount of time, because usually one level, well, sometimes one level has been like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. That's definitely happened before.
Especially with the bosses.
Yeah. Alright, well, what do you think if I get the Bible verse out?
Yeah.
Verse of the day. Okay, so today we are continuing Ephesians. This will be Ephesians 4. Obviously starting with verse 1. So, Ephesians 4, verse 1. This section is called Unity and Maturity in the Body of Christ. As a prisoner for the Lord, then, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. But to each one of us, grace has been given as Christ apportioned it. This is why it says, when he ascended on high, he took many captives and gave gifts to his people. What does he ascended mean, except that he also descended to the lower earthly regions? He who descended is the very one who ascended higher than all the heavens in order to fill the whole universe. So Christ himself gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and teachers to equip his people for works of service, so that the body of Christ may be built up until we all reach unity in faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Then we will no longer be infants, tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching and by the cunning and craftiness of people in their deceitful scheming. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of him who is the head, that is, Christ. From him the whole body, joined and held together by every supporting ligament, grows and builds itself up in love as each part does its work. Yeah, a couple things jump out at me right away. I mean, I especially like towards the end, then we will no longer be infants tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching and by the cunning and craftiness of people in their deceitful scheming. Basically, I mean, this is, I guess you might hear something similar from people, but it's just so direct and concise right here. It's like without Jesus' teaching and without Jesus being in your life, you will be basically tossed back and forth, and it's easy to get confused and wow, what is going on? I just looked back, it's like 3 different giant suns.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how many times I've heard people say, like, oh, well, how do you know which religion is right? How do you know this isn't right? How do you know that isn't right? And it's just like they're confusing themselves. I don't know. I don't want to say on purpose, but they are confused because they haven't been given the guidance. They maybe are not willing to believe what they're hearing. But once you accept Jesus and start learning about basically what life is all about and study the Bible, you're not going to be so confused anymore. You're going to be able to determine what's right, what's wrong, what's truth, what's lies. Obviously not in all cases. I mean, Christians are still can still be deceived. It's not like you're automatically a lie detector, but you will definitely be less confused than somebody who doesn't accept any of this stuff. You can just look at like how non-religious people. It's like you can find good non-religious people, but the range of like the beliefs of non-religious people go from everything from pagan to literal Satanism to agnosticism to, you know, it's just like all over the place. Because if I think we were talking something similar in a Knight's Quest, it's like if there's nothing telling you right from wrong, then everything is basically okay. Anything goes. It's like that would be confusing, but luckily we have a written guide right here. And guess what? That was just the last paragraph. That reading. Sorry, what? Do you have some thoughts on that?
Honestly, not too much more than what you've already said. It's almost like some people will refuse to pick a particular religion just, you know, because they want to say that they're, you know, open-minded and tolerant and whatever. But, like, in doing so, they then often sort of become intolerant of all the actual established religions.
Yeah, that's a really, really good way to say that. Yeah.
Because, you know, then they start asking all the questions like, well, how can you say this, that, and the other thing? Because you're, like, as if you're the one who's, like, so unaccepting of everybody else.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
Yeah, I think part of that is, like, pride, basically, because they feel like, well, oh man, I'm not dumb enough to fall for all those old things. I am enlightened, and I found this, you know, new age stuff, kind of. So I feel like that's the attitude. Because I met a lot of people who have that kind of attitude in where I grew up, and yeah, fortunately have encountered that quite a bit. Which is weird because I grew up in a Catholic school, and I would say only 25-30% of the people there were actually religious. Pretty strange. But it was a liberal area, very, very on the West Coast. I don't know enough about that. Yeah, what the heck's going on?
So many of these enemies just randomly showed up.
The funny thing is, or the funniest thing about those people who are like, oh man, I'm so enlightened and I'm not, you know, like dumb enough to fall for the old whatever. It was the most common position, so it's not like they're believing in some unique grand thing. It's like that's what everybody over there was doing. So it was contrarian to be a Christian. And I feel like that's becoming more common these days, because it's like, I don't know, our society has changed a lot in the last 20 years.
Okay, so I could just leave the level now.
Yeah.
This has been quite tedious.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe for this level.
Like, if I felt like we really needed to extend the length of it, I would go and find more friends, but I don't feel like that's necessary in this case.
Yeah, and I think it takes so long to get anywhere in that level, like the orbiting and just going everywhere.
Yeah, and like there were certain sections of the level that were just kind of like inherently blocked off.
Yeah. Well, nice job. You did it.
Alrighty, I can at least figure out what gem we're getting and get that all situated for the next episode before we start it. Another beam gem, getting a lot of beam gems. Well, guess what? Every cannon's got a beam gem now.
Yeah. That's totally fine.
Alright.
Cool.
So, that's it for now. Come back next episode when we dig into Mission 3 of the Orion Constellation.
Yeah. There's just so much jam-packed into Ephesians. I feel like we could reread it and pull out completely different stuff.
Right?
Like, that literally was the last 3 verses that we talked about. And
yeah.
anyway.
If I wasn't as focused as I was on the game, maybe I could have said more.
Oh, no, yeah, no, you're fine. I mean, that's why we're partners in this, because one person plays and the other one can focus on the verse.
Alright, well, anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you for the next episode, but until then, goodbye, everybody.